Hey guys, welcome back to Chuckload of Comics, your weekly source for nerd news, comic book talk, movie reviews, everything happening in the world of fandom. We break it down for you every single Sunday on YouTube. If this is your first time to the channel, guys, click the subscribe button. Join us here every Sunday for all the fun. What a week in the world of nerddom. In Star Wars news, J.J. Abrams, in an interview, said he is not playing it safe with The Rise of Skywalker, and he thanks director Rian Johnson. We'll break that down for you in just a second. Don't get nervous. Black Adam. We finally got confirmation. The Rock is going to be playing Black Adam in a standalone movie. We've got all the details for you, including the December release date. And finally, The Mandalorian will possibly be a 2-hour feature film. So says Chief Creative Officer Alan Horn. So stick around. We've got a lot of great Mandalorian details for you. I'm sure you guys are all watching the show and enjoying it. Shauna?
Oh, man. This is the best show on television right now.
I'm really digging it. We're going to get into the Mandalorian stuff at the end of the show, but before we break down all of this amazing nerd news, guys, let's go ahead and give you our comic book picks of the week. If you haven't made it down to your local comic book store, go down and pick up these two books. The first one that I highly recommend is called The Dollhouse Family. It is the second book in the Hill House comic book run.
Yeah.
Joe Hill, if you haven't heard this, he's launched a horror line of comic books under the DC Black Label. They're absolutely fantastic. The first one came out a couple weeks ago. It's called Basket Full of Heads. Really dug it, but I gotta say, this Dollhouse Family, I think I like even more than Basket Full of Heads. So what's it about? Let me just tell you, they pack a lot of story into this issue number 1 of Dollhouse Family. It's basically about this girl who gets sort of gifted. Mm-hmm. Well, her aunt dies, and she leaves in her will this magical dollhouse.
Ooh, you got me already.
I know. And so over the course of years, you find out this little girl can shrink down. She can go into the dollhouse. She can hang out and talk. All the dolls in the dollhouse come alive. It's very much like a Twilight Zone.
I couldn't agree more.
It has
so
a
cool.
very Twilight Zone kind of vibe. So I'm not going to give you all the details because it's a very spoiler-heavy issue number 1. So while the dollhouse thing is going on, there's this whole other thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
With this ancient surveyor. The surveyor back in the 1800s goes down into some cave and drops down into hell, and there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on in Dollhouse Family, guys. So if you haven't gotten on the Hill House Comics bandwagon, this is a great place to start. It's called Dollhouse Family. Pick it up at a local comic book shop this week. The second book that I cannot recommend enough, it's the X-Men Fallen Angels issue number 1.
Oh, man.
X-Men Fallen Angels is one of the when Jonathan Hickman did his 12 run, reinvented the X-Men, this is one of the spin-off issues. If you're not collecting all of the X-Men spin-off issues, I don't blame you. There's
right.
quite a few.
There's too many.
But if you pick up one, pick up X-Men Fallen Angels, if for no other reason. The beautiful cover.
I know.
Gorgeous, gorgeous purple cover by our friend Ashley Witter.
Who, by the way, I think drew herself into this cover. If you look at X23 down there, it looks just like Ashley.
Yeah, got to call you out on that one, Ashley. You look just like Laura Kinney. What's going on with that?
I think that's what she did.
Well, she did the Lord's work with the cover of X-Men Fallen Angels, guys. And if the cover wasn't enough for you, once you open up this book, it is the most gorgeously illustrated interiors I've seen in a comic book in a really long time.
I know. It's beautiful.
It's absolutely amazing art. It tells a story of Psylocke and X-23 and young Cable. And it's just sort of a mission that they go on. I won't give you all the details of it, but it's really, really cool. The story's outstanding. The art is spectacular.
Love it.
So pick up those two books, guys. Dollhouse Family, number 1. X-Men Fallen Angels, number 1. Let us know what you guys are reading in the comments section. Sound off. Did you read any of these, and what do you think? We'd love to hear. So let's go ahead and get into this week's nerd news. What do you say, Shauna?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
All right, guys. This is this week's nerd news. All right, guys, so our first nerd news story of the week is a Rise of Skywalker story. We're getting a little bit more details from director J.J. Abrams on basically what he said. He was in an interview with Total Films, and J.J. said, quote, "I am not playing it safe with the Rise of Skywalker, and it's thanks to what Rian Johnson did with The Last Jedi."
Uh-oh.
Don't freak out, because I read that headline. I got a little bit nervous myself.
I'm a little nervous. I don't like that he's... I mean, who liked The Last Jedi? Come on.
Some people liked it.
I don't know.
It's 50-50.
Did they?
Well, basically, JJ, in his interview, he alluded to the fact that he knowingly played it safe with The Force Awakens. He said he was sticking to, quote, what he thought was what a Star Wars movie should be. Mm-hmm. His full quote, again, he was sitting down with Total Films, and JJ said, In episode 7, I was adhering to a kind of approach that felt right for Star Wars in my head. Ryan helped remind me that that's not why we're on these movies, not to just do something that you've seen before. Wow. He said, I won't say that I felt constrained or limited on episode 7, but I found myself wanting to do something that felt more consistent with the original trilogy than not. And on episode 9, I found myself feeling like I am just going to go for it a little bit more.
Wow.
That's actually really good news. I think that's cool.
You think?
Well, JJ, if anybody had anything really bad to say about episode 7, Force Awakens, it was because it felt a little bit regurgitated.
Okay.
I disagree personally, but that was sort of the big gripe from fans. It's like, okay, you're giving us something that we've already seen, we've already know.
Though. That was brought you back into it.
Yeah, and he's basically owning up to that and saying, yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to do, was playing it safe. So a little excited that he's going to break the mold just a little bit.
Sure. That makes sense. I'm okay with that then, I guess.
Yeah, well, to build on that even more, Daisy Ridley sat down in an interview with Entertainment Weekly. She gave 4 words to describe what The Rise of Skywalker is going to be. She said it's dark. She said it's scary. She said it's sad. And it's joyful.
Oh, my gosh.
All at the same time. So basically what she said, she also talks a little bit about the whole Kylo Ren-Rey relationship. Basically what she said in her Entertainment Weekly interview, she said, obviously, there's this whole Reylo thing. Some people are very passionate about it. Some aren't. JJ does deal with it. She said it's a very complex issue. People talk about toxic relationships, and this is no joke. And I think it's dealt with really well because it's not skimmed over.
Okay.
So if you want to find out more about the Reylo thing, apparently JJ's going to address it.
Why do we have to do this name combining thing?
Know.
Reylo.
I hate
my
Reylo.
Gosh,
it's the dumbest thing
terrible.
ever. So, I mean, what really jumped off the page is that she said it's scary. She said it's dark. She said it's sad.
That's interesting.
Are we ready for a scary Star Wars movie?
I don't know. Are we? I mean, I guess. It makes me a little nervous, though.
No, it gets me excited because I think it's going to be the Emperor is going to be bringing the scares.
Okay, that makes
sense.
sense.
It sounds like they're not going to be messing around with the Emperor character in this movie, guys. So we know so little about The Rise of Skywalker. All we have is a synopsis. This synopsis I'm going to read it for you because it's online. It's not spoilery.
Oh, right.
But basically the synopsis, everything we know about the film is a year after the events of The Last Jedi, the remnants of the Resistance face the First Order once again while reckoning with the past and their own inner turmoil. Meanwhile, the ancient conflict between the Jedi and the Sith reaches its climax, altogether bringing the Skywalker saga to a definitive end. 2 things I want to break down in this synopsis. Reckoning with the past and their own inner turmoil.
Ooh.
Inner turmoil amongst the Resistance. We're going to have some little infighting amongst the people, our core group.
Sure.
I don't know who's not getting along. Maybe it's Rey and Poe. Maybe it's Poe and Finn. Maybe it's C-3PO and R2-D2. I don't know.
Oh, but the fact that she said it was sad, too, does that mean people aren't going to survive?
I think Lando's going to die.
Oh,
and I think,
yeah, Lando
I
and
think
the Falcon.
Millennium Falcon's going to eat it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, and of course the other big one that they say in the synopsis is the ultimate conflict between the Jedi and the Sith reaches its climax.
Sure.
So we know there's going to be some massive Jedi-Sith infighting. There's a lot going on in this movie. It's going to be the longest Star Wars movie ever made.
Wow.
2 hours and I think like 35 minutes.
Sweet.
4 minutes longer than The Last Jedi.
They had to get that thing.
Take that, Rian Johnson. So guys, let us know in the comments section, what do you think about JJ's comments about The Last Jedi and Rian Johnson? What do you think about Daisy Ridley's comments about the movie being dark and scary? Sound off in the comments section as they say. We'd love to hear what you think. Next big story of the week, guys, the movie that's been in development for years now, the Black Adam movie. Well, it came out this week. The Rock is officially confirmed to be starring in a standalone Black Adam movie. He's not talking about Shazam 2. They're talking about a standalone film starring The Rock. We all knew this was going to happen.
So cool.
They just had to, I guess, work out the kinks and figure out when they were going to release it. Well, it announced with this really awesome poster.
Oh, it's beautiful.
This gorgeous poster. It was a co-op between Jim Lee and our buddy Boss Logic.
That's right.
Gorgeous poster.
It's so pretty.
Boss Logic, if you don't follow him on Instagram, you totally should. He wrote this really long, I don't have it to pull up and show you, but he wrote this really long little paragraph about how honored he is to finally be working with the great Jim Lee on a very official capacity.
That's so cool.
Love that. So gorgeous poster. You see The Rock in his yellow booties, looking fabulous.
Love
Dwayne,
it.
looking
Love
like $1
it.
million bucks. So not only did we get the poster, not only did we get the Rock confirmation, we got a release date. The movie is
What?
set to release December 22nd, 2021. So not this
Beautiful.
Christmas, not next Christmas, but the Christmas after that.
Chuck, what does that mean?
Very interesting week to launch a movie, guys. The reason that date is so important in the world of fandom, it's the same week that Avatar 2 comes out.
Oh, God.
It's going to go head-to-head with
Great.
James Cameron's, his first of, I think, 12 Avatar movies he's going to make. This is the first one, the sequel nobody wanted or even asked for.
Oh, jeez.
It's going head-to-head with Black Adam. Sean, I got to ask you, who's going to win? I want a 2-year box office prediction.
2-year box office prediction. I mean, I hate to say it, but Avatar's going to win because they,
You think?
they have this fan base. I have no idea why, and people have been waiting for this second movie forever. So unfortunately, Avatar's probably going to win. But man, it would be so cool if they didn't. It would be so cool if Black Adam pulled out.
It's so
the
cool.
punches.
I like that they're doing a standalone Black Adam
Yeah.
movie. Instead of introducing the character in Shazam 2, he's going to get his own standalone movie.
Yeah.
Then they're going to do Shazam 2.
That's great.
Which is awesome.
It's fantastic.
We got even more news
Uh-oh.
about Black Adam. The Rock surprised a lot of people when he said in an interview that the Black Adam character is going to be a hero,
Interesting.
more of like an anti-hero. He's
Okay.
not going to be a bad guy. If you don't know anything about Black Adam, guys, he's not a good guy. He's
Right.
a villain.
Yeah. that's
He's a
true.
bad guy. If you've been reading the DC Comics lately, you know that they've sort of been reinventing the character just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A little bit of backstory on who Black Adam is. Black Adam was a corrupted ancient Egyptian. He's the predecessor to Shazam,
Mm-hmm.
who fought his way to modern times to challenge the hero and his family. Black Adam has, like I said before, he's been sort of redefined in DC Comics lately to be
Yeah.
more of a corrupted anti-hero attempting to clear his name and his reputation. This doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't
Because it's
surprise
The
me either.
Rock.
Right, it's The Rock. The Rock is the nicest guy.
You can't have The Rock play a villain, man. It's like it just doesn't go with his image.
No, not at all. And it's very reminiscent to like what they're doing with Magneto and these days too.
Right.
You know, like he's a bad guy, obviously, but now if you're reading the current run, the Jonathan Hickman series,
Yeah.
he's kind of a good guy now.
Yeah,
So
kind of like with Doctor Doom. Also, they're sort of
good point.
they're making Doctor Doom a little bit more of a likable character.
Yeah,
They're making Magneto a little bit more of a likable character. Gone are the days of
So-
supervillains. Everybody's an anti-hero now. So I'm really excited about this standalone movie. The poster's great. The release date is going to be a lot of fun.
Perfect.
That weekend of December 2021, going head to head, The Rock versus James Cameron. Who will come out on top? I think Black Adam might even take it.
I hope so.
So let us know in the comment section, guys. What did you think about this announcement? Are you excited about The Rock? I think everybody is. Are you excited about him being a hero, not a villain? Sound off in the comment section, guys. We really want to know what you guys think. So our final story of the week. We are finally living in the world of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, buddy.
Alan Horn said in a business meeting that he is open to the idea of doing a 2-hour movie for The Mandalorian. We're going to get into that in just a second. But we got to give props. Congratulations, Disney Plus.
Right?
10 million signups at the day of launch.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
That's 10 million people totally pissed off that The Mandalorian's only a 30-minute show. That angers me a little bit.
Yeah.
Why is this not an hour-long show?
I don't know.
It should be longer.
It
Give us more
should.
Mandalorian. You're only giving us 8 30-minute episodes.
Yeah, and when have you ever heard of a drama only being 30 minutes long? Like
Doesn't
I've
happen.
never. It's so weird. We just expected it to be an hour-long show.
I mean, everybody did.
I did,
Game
yeah.
of Thrones,
Right.
Breaking Bad. I mean, I can't think of a single half-hour drama out
Nope,
there.
me neither.
So anyway, this Alan Horn thing, the movie thing, comes from an article over at Collider.com. Wonderful article written by Tom Ryman. He wrote that Alan Horn was at the Variety Business Managers Breakfast on Wednesday.
What do they serve there? Baby souls?
Yeah, they serve really expensive breakfast, some really expensive tropical fruits. So Alan Horn said at that meeting, he said, The Mandalorian is already proving to be a big thing. So if that series proves to be so compelling that we reverse engineer it into a theatrical release, a 2-hour film, well, okay.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know what that reverse engineering thing means. Are they going to retcon the show that they just made?
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that?
What does that mean? Reverse engineer the story for a 2-hour film? I hope they're not going to give us a 2-hour version of what we've already seen with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, usually when you hear reverse engineering, it's something like Terminator. You know,
Yeah.
we're going to go back and erase what's already happened because
Yeah.
it sucked. But nothing's happened yet.
Yeah,
What
it's
are you
very
reverse
successful.
engineering?
Well, it's a very non-committal response
Yeah, it's
that
true.
Alan, he's not saying we're going to do it. He's just saying that Disney's open to the idea. And hey, I'm down. You want to give us a Mandalorian movie? I'm 1,000% down. Don't recast it. Give us the same cast.
Yeah.
Just give it to us in a 2-hour package and not a 30-minute weekly thing.
That makes sense.
The big question is, in my mind, is what does this mean for the Obi-Wan series? The success of The Mandalorian, the fact that Disney is open to the idea of doing this expanded cinematic universe. Will Obi-Wan go back to its original plan and be a theatrical release?
I like that idea.
I think it's highly
that's great.
possible.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be a theatrical release, but it could be a Disney Plus movie original.
It could be an original film on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Good call.
why
And
not? That
brings
would
up
be
another
awesome.
question. Would they do a 2-hour Mandalorian movie on the Disney Plus platform? You make a lot more money if you release it in theaters, though.
That's true.
And they don't have any Star Wars movies planned for the next few years.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised if they just kind of get with Jon Favreau, shit out a 2-hour Mandalorian movie, and just throw it in theaters. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. It's nice to know Disney's open to the idea.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you guys think? Obviously you're watching Mandalorian. How are you enjoying it? What do you think about the 30-minute runtime? Does it piss you guys off nearly as much as it's pissing me off? Let us know in the comment section. Sound off, as they say. So that's our whole weekly nerd news, guys. Let us know in the comment section. What do you think about J.J. Abrams' comments? What do you think about Black Adam? And what do you think about The Mandalorian? Sound off in the comment section. And thanks a lot for watching. Shauna, this was a fun week.
Yeah, absolutely. I loved it.
Yeah. So, guys, join us here every single Sunday for all the fun. Find out next week what's going on in the world of fandom. Find it right here on the Chuckload of Comics Show on YouTube every Sunday. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Join us here next week for all the fun. And have a fantastic week. We'll see you here next Sunday.
Bye-bye.